Hi, very good afternoon. I belong to a small town. I can say that I'm a small town boy. Grew up in a semi-urban town of Bihar till class 10th, and I born to an engineer father who was quite a disciplined person. And since starting, he ensured that we do carry forward his legacy of being disciplined in his life. After doing class 10th from that semi-urban town, I moved to state capital of Bihar, Patna, where I did my plus two in science stream in math, physics, chemistry, and thereafter I did my graduation in economics. So this is pretty much about my life till my educational life and joining the professional world. This incident is related to my workplace, where this was my first branch in State Bank of India, where we were. I was faced with a situation that how to serve a class of customer, which were pensioners, in a manner that they are able to complete their transactions within time. Because when I joined in that branch, and this was very beginning of my career, I saw that there used to be huge rush and it was taking more than the required time in the transactions. And the transactions were pretty simple for them to withdraw their hard-earned pension which has come to their account. Because it was a unique and local issue to that branch, not the systematic issue which was impacting the entire country or entire bank. So I thought of local solution and got in touch with the pensioners in the group individually also to ascertain that how I can improve there, so that during first few days of those months when there used to be huge rush, still I'm able to serve and complete their transactions within the time. And for that basis, my deliberations, few rounds of discussion with them, what figured out is that considering the capacity of the branch in that area and their size being big, if for first few days voluntarily we staggered the people coming to the branch to do this particular transaction of withdrawing their hard earned money, we would be able to do it. And this is where they readily agreed to experiment this with me for starting on a pilot basis for 1 or 2 months, and then if the experience is good, probably they would support it. And in the very first and second month itself, the experience was quite encouraging, that compared to the earlier time which was consumed for them to complete this transaction, which is pretty simple and recurring in nature. Every month at least they have to come once and do it. They realized, they experienced that the transactions was getting complete even, yeah, even around 1/5 of the otherwise the time which they were spending in the branch. For me, it was also a learning in itself, that sometimes you don't need the big changes to tackle those issues which are around you. Within the given ecosystem, within the given even framework, there are certain solutions possible, as long as you get along all your stakeholders. I would try to reflect on that one, that how IIMA helped me in shaping my worldview after spending one full year over there. I was already into the professional world, having already had partially, I would say, some success also with me, if I would call it success, in a way that I was lucky to have got opportunity to join State Bank of India, and thereafter also I was lucky, I would say lucky enough to got the opportunity to work in the area where I wanted to be. So in a State Bank of India, I got the opportunity to work in the corporate banking, complete entire gamut of the activities in corporate banking, which includes right from the customer acquisition or business development, then credit appraisal, credit operations, and trade finance. So I thought that yes, I have seen the world, seen the professional life for around 10 years, and in a State Bank of India, I was further blessed to got opportunity not only to work in India but also work abroad, and that is to one of the prestigious assignment of working in Los Angeles, USA. Still, while I was sure, I was definitely sure that IIM Ahmedabad stay, that full 1 year stay, definitely going to help me in my future assignments by giving some sort of framework to approach the issues, to approach the challenges whenever I face with. But I was sure that how what kind of framework it would be, how it is going to shape up my worldview. But now I would be honest that having almost 10 years work experience with me and having entered into the IIMA Ahmedabad for 1 year, the in the course curriculum, the faculties, the way teach you to mostly to base the case study to learn through the real life scenarios. Then how you the class the course design is in a way that you don't learn only basis your experiences, you get opportunity to leverage the experience of your classmates as well, because everyone participates, everyone is duly and extensively engaged in all those classes where the attempt is to prepare you as a next generation manager. So what I felt the real difference those 1 year of stay in IMA made is that it gave me a, I feel that it gave me a framework where uh, basis which I can approach to any solution or any challenge which I faced. I'm not saying that essentially I'm going to be successful every time, but in terms of shaping the worldview, one, it gives you idea about, through the case studies. Actually, it gives you idea about many real life scenarios, many anecdote that itself adds to your experiences. Then you learn through participation of your different your classmates who bring different experiences and different perspective, and these put together where it helps you is that it somewhere prepare you prepare you to have a structured thought process on the challenges which you face, whether it is in real life, whether it is in personal life, or whether it is in professional life. So in that sense, I now, after having spent 1 year and almost now 13 years, this year in April it will be leaving the IMA, but I feel that those 1 year footprint will be there throughout my life, and it is going to be one of the guiding factor, one of the light. Those learnings made during those 1 year definitely going to show me as light post, and to draw my own perspective, to draw my own method, and to draw my own structured thoughts to approach no matter whatever challenges or opportunities I face in my life. So this way, I really owe to my alma mater for all those opportunities for learning during that one full year stay. This is again one of the interesting question. As you know, already there is a terminology and which is widely accepted now that we are in Amrit Kal of our freedom, which for me the understanding, I would take it this way, that we are in the last quarter of that century since the independence. And I feel that this question itself is quite fascinating, exciting for all of us, that how we are going to look like when we complete, as a modern India, when we complete our 100-year independence. While making any estimate, any guesses would be risky, and would be kind of little subjective. Risky in a way that no one knows that how it's going to hold on. But I would try to base my estimates on the sum of the some of the tangible estimates. When I say, then I meant those credible organizations who are basis their framework, basis their method of extrapolate, basis their method to make intelligent estimates and guesses, the way they are putting the things, the way we can experience the current state of affairs. And to some extent I will give room to my discretion too. And with taking these three things into account, I will try to attempt this question, that how we would look like in 2047. First, if we look at the pace at which infrastructure is being built, and when I say I look at the pace, then we need to refer to those objective information. For example, let's say the kilometer of highways being built, the telecom connectivity with we are being there on the 5G platform. Similarly, the other infrastructure, we talk about railway, port, then a few unexplored areas in past, especially I wouldn't say unexplored, but those areas where maybe the rigor was not as nowadays, that especially post COVID we are expecting. How much it is materializes, only time will tell, but indications are quite good that we would be getting some sort of our share in movement of those manufacturing ability from one geography to another geography, and where we are considered as one of the front runner. So as I touched upon, that if we see from our eyes, experience basis the objective data in terms of the things happening on the infrastructure space, in terms of the opportunities getting realigned due to COVID disruption, and since then the challenges faced by the supply chain, which may not experience earlier, and hence the supply chain is accordingly adjusting to it, and we are trying to not exploit is the correct word, try to make fortune out of that, those opportunity presented to us. These are the things we can experience, that where infrastructure is growing being built at a good pace, and we are considered to be positioned to get some of the share in this realignment happening in the entire supply chain across the world, and then our own rigor to develop some of the areas where earlier we were not that actively engaged, such as defense exports and so on and so forth. So these are the few areas I name it, otherwise this list can go long. Along this list, if we look at those estimates made by those credible agencies, again the list is long. But one thing is very profound and clear, that by the end of this 25 years of this Amrit Kal and completing 100 years of independence, India will be very, very clearly among the top 3 economies, maybe number 2, maybe number 3, maybe closing well with the even number 1 economy. All this in 25 years, how we are able to manage for our pace from here onwards. But it looks very clear that in next 25 years, India will be among top 3 largest world economy, and it will be playing a very, very important role. I would say dominant role, but very, very important role when it comes to shaping the new world order. The latest update is yesterday only, and which is again a very, very good news for the entire country, that Geological Survey of India has confirmed 5.9 million tons lithium reserve in somewhere in Jammu. As we all know that lithium is going to be a new oil, so maybe this one new finding would add to the fortune which we are looking to build in next 25 years. Thank you for this putting up this opportunity to reflect my views on banking and the banking related regulations in India. If we look at in terms of our success to manage a sound and progressive banking system, then we have been fairly successful. Even if post-independence, if we look at it, then in last 70-75 years, you will find that world has gone through few rounds of I would say, banking challenges. No, I would want to put it as a crisis, but banking challenges. And every time banking, or I would say financial sector challenges. And every time when we have gone through the challenges, entire world I'm talking about, every time the profound realization was that regulations at that point in time were not adequate enough, and that was one of the prominent reason to get into those financial challenges. Luckily, for the regions, each time regions may be different, but largely Indian financial sector has been immune and least affected with those challenges. Of course, you cannot be completely immune or completely unaffected. Having said this, if we were to reflect on this, that have we unlocked our full potential of financial sector with the regulations which we have relied upon till now, and going forward, should we consider this adequate? Here, my one take is that while calibrating the changes in regulations, and therefore ensuring that we make transitions from one regulations to another regulation, such as if you look at our internal regulations, always moving in sync with the internal regulations in terms of Basel 1, 2, 3. And now we are talking about fourth, and similarly the other few international international level decisions in financial sector, maybe by some big economies which is having impact on all of us. So far we have been able to calibrate ourselves well. But going forward, if I were to give, if my business were to be allowed to at least not prevail, but at least articulate, I feel if for the sake of more competitiveness, for the sake of more resilience financial sector, I feel that we need to be little more daring, little more challenging. When I say little more daring and little more challenging in a way, then here I mean to say that we must embrace ourselves, we must ready ourselves to while reward those who are innovating, those who are able to push the frontier and take the financial sector to the next level. We must also be in readiness to accept the failures of inefficient players. As of now, we have tried to avoid it. However, having said this, that we must, as a regulations, as a society, ready to accept the failure of those who are not able to keep pace, those who are not able to remain efficient. This especially for the financial sector, and within financial sector for the banking sector, is not an easy task. For that, you need to bring in regulatory changes slowly, and that will come through a lot of literacy and awareness among the customer of financial sector, because letting those inefficient or incompetent financial entity fail, it normally it has wider ramifications. Therefore, it is important that first we make ready our customer base, we make ready all stakeholders, and then only attempt these kind of changes. But that will, having said this, if we are able to achieve that, we are able to move in that direction, I'm very sure that is going to make us more resilient, more competitive, and more efficient. In terms of my aspiration or my focus or my the way I look at myself placing in the future, while I would always follow this principle that man proposes and God disposes, but then man's job is to keep proposing and keep trying on that, and then let the destiny prevail, which anyway it is going to prevail. Having said this, and considering my experiences which I have earned after invested 25 years of my life, precious 25 years of my life in professional world, mainly in financial sector, spanning across banks and non-banking financial companies, well in India as well as abroad, US, Oman, and working for few geographies, while location may not be in that geography, but working for few geographies like Singapore and Dubai. I would like to utilize these experiences to contribute in my little humble way to the journey of this great nation, where everyone is trying to do own bit, and I'm also an individual who would be trying my own bit of these experiences, harnessing these experiences, and working with organizations in different capacities, maybe as an advisor, maybe as a director, or any other capacity where my learning, my experiences can add even some value to the journey of those particular organization with whom I choose to connect, or they choose to engage with my services, where my experiences of this 25 years, having seen complete cycle and having worked with almost all facets of banking, both side, corporate and retail banking, in their assets and liability side, and that the complete chain of the activity which any bank does, right from the customer acquisition till the customer stay with us during their life cycle. Some customers stay as prudent customers, some customers slip on their experiences slippage, and then they have to be dealt differently. But I feel it is really good luck and destiny that I got opportunity to work across this spectrum, and during different era too. Sometimes when economy was doing good, sometimes when economy was down, sometimes economy was doing good but facing different challenges which were not related to the economy but due to other region. So bringing all these experiences and then my exposure and learning with the 1 year stay with IIMA, these things bringing together, I want to use them wherever I can, and I get opportunity. While opportunity will not come sitting idle, so definitely I will be exploring that, but using those opportunity to contribute my bit to towards this marvelous journey of our country, where we are targeting in next 25 years to among top three, and then even if possible, then at the top, and then save this entire world. The second question was regarding what does the success mean to me. Now this is this, I would say, again, it is a very age specific answer. When you are in your early life, when you are in your middle life, like a college and all this, and when you are getting into the professional world, and after having spent 25 years of the professional life, the meaning of success keep on changing. But one thing remain constant with me is that I would feel personally, for me, the success is that if I'm able to manage in terms of learning, if I'm able to manage my learning and manage the pace of my learning with the changing dynamics of the ecosystem where we operate, where we live, where we survive, I would see that as a success. Because I remember in our school time, no one knew about the internet, right? When we came to the college, the internet was picking up, but still it was kind of an alien word. Slowly we started getting used to it. By the time we got into the job, mobile was there, but very costly. Very few people were using it. Another down the line few years, mobile technology was all pervasive. It has completely changed the way communicate. I'm only talking about the communication side, or say IT, information technology side. We can touch upon all the many areas where changes, be the biotechnology, be in the pharma, be in medicine, be the usage of energy, which we are seeing in the latter part now in last 5-7 years. The electric energy, many transportation based on the electricity and all this. So all the sphere of the life, you will see that things keep on changing from where you started and where you say goodbye to this world. So in my view, the success is to keep pace with the changing world, and continue to maintain the rhythm of our own learning to keep pace with that one. If I'm able to do that one, I definitely would see this as a very, very profound success.